Hey, we're going to get to that video in just a moment, but I did want to say a little teaser. I'm going to have a big announcement coming out in about the next 10 days. And this is something that's been in development for a couple of years, and I'm finally going to try to roll it out. And I can't say any more than that. Just know that I'm really excited about it. And it's something that you might be interested in. So if you haven't already, turn on notifications, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you'd like to be the first to take part in it or have the chance to, the opportunity to, you can send me an email with the words early bird and I will let you know first and you will have the chance to take part in it before anybody else does. So that's all I can say for now. Stay tuned. Let's get to the video. Hey, so I wanted to go over this article that had come out recently about August, when was it? I don't even know, August 15th in the Wall Street Journal. It finally made some mainstream press, the cheating scandal rocking the world of elite high school math. So, thought some of you might be interested in it. The subtitle, Online Leaks Have Upended a Prestigious Math Contest, Fueling Worries That Honest Kids Will Lose Out. I would argue honest kids will never lose out. Even if you don't get the award, even if you don't, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve on the test, I don't actually think from personal perspective that you're losing out. But we will get to that in a moment. Before I start going into the article, I did want to mention really quickly that I have a class this Sunday, and it's 2 days away from right now when this comes out. This is filmed Friday, September 6th. This Sunday is the first small notebook class of the season. Last year, I had about 80 people participate in this. It's a collection of about 15 years of my personal research. It's a bunch of things that give you like stimulus response type ideas, things that you can learn to be able to respond more quickly in various ways. So sometimes it's a formula, sometimes it's a concept, but it's all my personal notes that I've learned in about 15 years of researching the test that I've pulled from past contests, I've pulled from AOPS books. Mostly those are the two sources. I will try to link the concepts to various problems when they were applied so you can see them in action. Not all concepts have that though, because sometimes there will be things that I'm saying this could be a concept that appears. The test is well known to not be a regurgitation of past ideas just displayed in a different order. Rather, there's many questions on the test that you have to respond to that's never really appeared before, and you're going to have to think in that space. And so there are ideas that cross over into that realm as well. Like, hey, they could make this into a concept. Will they? I don't know. But it's better to have that action and that understanding of that kind of concept or idea as you go into the test in case those appear. Every year, a handful of these appear on all 4 exams. You don't know which ones because there's not like a set order of things that will always be there. I tend to not cover pedestrian topics like SOHCAHTOA, and AA similarity for triangles and things like that, because those are pretty standard boilerplate ideas that you can get anywhere. So if you're interested in that class, please reach out as soon as you can. If you're already one of my students, there's a 40% off discount for this class. It's not free. Sorry, this is my career. It's what I do. And so, yeah, if you're interested, reach out. The class is this Sunday. The times are Pacific Standard Time. There's 2 parts. It's a 4-hour fast-paced lecture. So if you want to be a part of that, please send me an email and we can get started on that. By the way, an email you can reach me at, alternative to the one on my page, the Gmail one, is math.coach. That's not coach, can I spell? Let's just erase that. I can't go on with that. math.coach@thebeautyofmath.net. Okay, so that email tends to get filtered less. The other email sometimes gets filtered. So if you want to reach me on that one, and then sometimes if you do message me through my website, there's the Shopify platform, or at my Gmail address, do check your spam folders from time to time. It's probably not that I didn't respond. It's probably that it got filtered. It happens sometimes, and I don't ever send spam of any kind. Okay, let's get back to the story now. So a Discord server member, who I won't name per their request, shared this with me last month, and I just haven't had time to get into it and talk about it. I'm just going to go through the article and make commentary about different things. It's got the ads that were in the original one. America's top colleges and finance industry recruiters have long had their eye on teenage whiz kids who compete in a prestigious high school math contest. Prestigious. I think it kind of is, actually. Now, allegations of cheating are threatening to disrupt it. Second page, I have crossed out this student's face because Wall Street Journal has the permission to use it, but I do not. So I just did not want to risk any issues. Online leaks of tests, you can find their original face and stuff if you want to read the Wall Street Journal version of the article. Online leaks of tests for the country's best known math contest, the 74-year-old American mathematics competitions, are upsetting students who have spent years preparing for the exams. It typically is years before you qualify. Now, people have commented in my Discord server recently, is it worth it? I mean, I think yes. You save massive amounts of time on all the rest of your homework throughout your mathematical careers because you've already seen those concepts. The SAT math is a joke. So even if you didn't make AMY or you didn't make USAMO, when you go to take an upper division course or anything like that, or not an upper division, but a higher level, more difficult course, say AP pre-calc, let's say, and they go through sequence and series, a lot of the kids learning that for the first time are going to struggle, but comp math students don't. For them, it's easy because you've already learned the material. And so you're getting time savings anyway, even though you invest it up front to compete in this contest. If you intend to go into tech or science type field, these kinds of ideas will aid you in your journey to preparing for those courses, and you'll have less homework time spent then. So it's not a waste of your time investment, in my opinion. Various other reasons that I'm not going to get into right now. But SAT math, you don't even need to study for it, basically. It's like a free 800, 790 type score. You just do the best that you can. Okay, so going on, it says ahead of the coming school year and test season, angry parents and math coaches have pushed the contest administrators to tighten controls. The incident is the latest byproduct of a high-pressure college admissions race that can lead students to look for any edge to get ahead. Let's go to the next page. The bigger the perception that a specific test is going to give a leg up in college admissions, the higher the stakes and the more likely the cheating is going to be, said Raul Santos, the head math coach at Broward County, Florida campus of American Heritage Schools. Technology is making cheating on schoolwork easier than ever, fueling worries among students and parents that honest kids will lose out. Again, this kind of theme, I saw various posts. You can go and look at, MAA. There's a bunch of articles written about this now from various sources. Lakeside School has one from last year, the MAA AMC test leaks. They got leaked last year. What will they do about the AMC 10A leak? You have a Reddit forum post. The 12A, the Saratoga Falcon, wherever that is. I read that article too. They're discussing it. You have, Quora, which is the AMC 10 thing. You have Manifold Markets, open letter to AMC office at MAA from our team, whatever that is. Oh, look, there's a video by some guy. I don't know if you've heard of him, the Beauty of Math YouTube channel. That's kind of cool, actually. And some schools actually canceled the administration of it due to the leaks, which is just silly. You should have just held it anyway. It's not like they're going to not allow it. Now they did nullify an entire testing location. And I know two parents who have talked to me from that testing location. I will not name it. It was here in the United States, and they had their test disqualified. And those students were not part of anything having to do with cheating. But of course, that's the result when somebody from that location is involved in the leak. They don't know who it was leaked to. They don't have a choice. They have to be able to protect the integrity of the test the best they can. And that entire center was disqualified. And a lot of students were unfairly having their test scores canceled. But again, it's not fair to them. But at the same time, I don't think MAA has a choice. You don't know. We don't know what private conversations or who had access and who didn't. So unfortunately, it's like when one player on a team cheats or something and the entire team gets disqualified. That's just the way that it goes. It's very unfortunate that life sometimes has those kinds of situations. Okay. So back to the article though. Technology making it easier to cheat. After the leaks, the Mathematical Association of America, we're down here now, second paragraph in the middle, which runs the AMC contest, disqualified some students and increased the number who were invited to later rounds to account for those who may have been edged out by cheaters. I feel like the cutoff score last year was fair. The difficulty, if you watch that video that I have, it was not as bad as 2022 or 2021. It should have been a little bit higher cutoffs. Now, did some people get top 1% who wouldn't have otherwise got it? Possibly. But I think everybody who would have honestly had a shot at qualifying for Amy should have made it. I have pretty good acumen at being able to tell the approximate difficulty of where a top 2.5% or 5% cutoff would be. You can watch my analysis video on that. And I think if you look at the actual statistics, it does bear out that I was pretty close with what I felt it would be, even with the cheating factored in. So anyhow, going on the bottom paragraph, I hope that it doesn't happen again, said Lance Rodriguez, a rising senior and math team member at Brooklyn Technical High School. It's not fair, and it's not. It's not fair. But life, honestly, is not fair, and you have to do the best you can in a battlefield, in a playing field that's not fair. It happens all the time. I hate to tell you this, but when you get to university and when you're looking for jobs, it's also not a fair landscape. And so you just do the best you can and try to perform according to your own level of integrity. Sorry, I stutter sometimes. Actually, I stuttered a lot more as a kid, but it sometimes comes out as an adult. And he's got a point, and I understand at this age too that it does feel a little bit unfair that they get that edge, and that's the nature of cheating, and that's why when you participate in such an act, maybe you should not just think about yourself and your future earnings or what school you get into, but what is the impact on people who have not done something like that. Some people consider that naive. I don't. If I got cheated out of something, is it just money that we care about? Is it just that we need to all focus on the amount of money that we make? Who taught us this? Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, money is important. Don't get me wrong. It definitely gives you financial security and options and things like that. But there's also, in my opinion, more to life than just that. And so, to me, I could not sleep at night if I had participated in something to give me something that I didn't deserve. I would not want it. I just don't. I mean, maybe that makes me stupid, foolish, naive, old school, whatever you want to call it, too noble. I saw some articles and some other things were talking about how that position is a dustbin of history type stuff, and we should just accept it. I have a teacher that I know in one school system. He had students cheating and awarded them 0, not on the contest, but just in their math classes in general. And the parents get really mad at that teacher, which is nuts to me. They blame the teacher. How could you ruin their lives like this? And it's like, well, they cheated and they knew the consequences. So I'm giving them a 0. That's what the rules are. And the parents flip out. This is really the problem, that parents decide and think sometimes that it should be okay because, hey, someone else is doing it, so we should too. This is how you get the moral degradation of society. This is how you find yourself in that kind of a world. And no, will we ever win the tide? Are we ever going to win the war on integrity and honesty and things like that? No, you won't. There's always going to be people who seek to cheat the system. You find it all the time in the real world, people breaking laws, doing things like that. And if you want a world that everyone is doing such things, then yeah, don't hold yourself to any personal accountability standards. I mean, that's your decision to make. But for me, I don't think that's the route that I would want to go. If it's all about money and that's all that matters in the world to you, and just your future and the career and the job that you get, whether you earned it or deserved it or not, you're basically stealing from someone else who worked for it. I mean, if that's something you're comfortable with, then I guess that's up to you. Let's keep going on the article. I would not be comfortable with that personally, but we all must make the decisions that we have to live with ourselves. So tests for sale. As early as elementary school, students interested in flexing their math knowledge beyond what is taught in school can participate in math clubs and competitions. Each year, more than 300,000 students through high school participate in the AMC's first round. This is inaccurate from the article. In fact, if we go over to the MAA website, Team USA takes first place in the International Math Olympiad. They talk about it down below, and I'll scroll back up for this too, but even they say right here, over 150,000 students from across the country. And I'm not even sure it's that high anymore. If I go over to the statistics page, you can see that in the 2021 10A, there was approximately 30,000 total students who participated. When you throw in the 12A and the 10B and the 12B, which you can take both tasks, I don't think it got over 50,000, 60,000 total participants. But maybe they're including AMC 8 or something like that. Maybe that's an older dynamic. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's that high. I know in the 1990s it was over 200,000. And it's definitely plummeted quite a bit since then. Like even this number here, if you go back and look at the statistics website from 10 years before that, it was like a 60,000 number, I believe. So it's more than cut in half since that time. But I can't say, maybe they know they have different internal statistics and this is an accurate number as well, but 300,000 is definitely not an accurate number anymore. I don't know when it was ever that level, except long, long ago. Okay. So the next part of it here, several thousand top performers are invited to sit. That's accurate for a high level test. And there's always these conversations about the diminished prestige. Those are all nonsense conversations. And if you want to listen to people who like to be negative about everything, then go ahead and listen to them. I don't agree at all. It has not diminished one bit the prestige of the qualification. Anyhow, it's also just a very fun contest. It's much more fun to think creatively than here, fit yourself inside this box like everyone else and do all the problems the same way everyone else does. I mean, that's what school math is like, right? And it's like, oh, just replicate this process. Look, you're learning. Maybe. I like things where you can like open world, if you will. You can go in all different directions and it's just you against the problem. And there's not necessarily a cut and dried cookie cutter solution path. You need to be creative to solve that problem, which is why people who do these contests and perform well, they tend to be people that do well in other fields of life because they're creative, they're comfortable not knowing how to solve something and solving it anyway. They're not the people who say, I was never taught this, so I can't do it. I hear that comment. How am I supposed to do it? I was never taught it. Nothing here that we're doing. A lot of people who came up with these ideas were never taught them either. They came up with them and you can too. You just have to learn to not be anxious or fearful in that moment. You just plunge yourself ahead into the problem. You take baby steps, various things. Watch my channel to learn those kinds of mechanics. So anyhow, higher level test. And from there, around 600 compete in national math Olympiads. The top 6 math students in the nation then represent the US internationally, yada, yada, IMO. Congratulations to the US team on taking first place, sole first place, not just tied for first place, sole first place again. What a testament to the team that does that. They compete every year at a very high level. Let's get on to this. Murmurs about cheating in the AMC have circulated for a few years, participants say, but reached critical levels during the past school year. I think this article is a good thing. It's a good thing. We're drawing attention to this. And when you draw attention to things like that, it forces the change. There have been leaked questions in the past, and it has been kind of swept under the rug because we don't want to make that an acknowledgement. The whole purpose of the contest was not for kids to have an accolade to get into university. It was to grow the love of mathematics. And so you have an organization like MAA, their budget is less than your local high school. They have less than $1 million budget, most likely to operate, from what I was told from high levels of people involved in the organization. And so maybe you'd like to become a member of the MAA and contribute. And it might be possible to specify you would like this donation to go towards test integrity or something like that. I would assume that's possible. I don't know. But you'd have to look into it yourself. But you kind of have to have some understanding. This is not your SAT test where they have a much bigger budget to protect test integrity. Now, should that mean they should do nothing? No, that's not what I'm saying. Let's not go far the other direction. There's definitely things that can be done and should be done to help protect the test's integrity, despite the fact that people will always try to find, some people will always abuse the system. There's people that abuse the system in the real world too. You see, like I said, they're all the time. People break the law. You can go along with them and break the law because other people are doing it, or you can function as well as you can while upholding your own level of integrity. Okay, so now going on, it says, blah, blah, blah. Down here, the entirety of exams at each level of the competition were available online hours or days before the students sat for the tests, a spokeswoman for the Mathematical Association of America confirmed. Testing sites in the US and abroad received the questions online early to give proctors time to print them out for the in-person exams. They did do some stuff. We'll get to that later in the article and on the MAA one. Rodriguez, the rising senior at Brooklyn Tech, said he and his friends first heard about the leaks on TikTok after the first round exam. When the results were released, they grew suspicious about some students with high scores. Rodriguez said most students join the math team for fun and the satisfaction of solving problems, but if you do well on the test, it's definitely a flex around school. I mean, and I think it kind of should be. You put forth the effort, just as any performance in which you put forth effort to prepare for it and you perform well, it's a flex for yourself. Look, your results are showing what you put in effort to prepare for and do. You are showing it, you are demonstrating it to an audience. I don't really see a problem with that. I'm not anti-competition at all. I think it's great. But again, different people have different views. Hong Lu, whose son, now at MIT, represents the US in the International Math Olympiad. That's just amazing. I can't even imagine that kind of level and what that takes. Said he and other parents of former competitors began sleuthing for the leaked exams to learn the extent of the problem. Lu said they found some sets of questions and answers widely available for free ahead of the testing time. In other instances, he added, sellers offered the USA Mathematical Olympiad test for a few $100s. The parents shared their concerns with the National Math Organization. The blatant placing of the exams for sale on the web was unusual in our experience, said Michael Pearson, the executive director of the Mathematical Association of America. So this is what it does. When it reaches this crescendo of people talking about it and forcing it, it forces the issue for the MAA. They've tried to do things, but it maybe wasn't a priority. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have details. Maybe it was a priority. And I'm not trying to speak ignorantly here. I'm just saying when you start drawing attention to it, you start getting statements. I don't remember statements in years past from the executive director of MAA about possible cheating. Maybe once in a while there was something that was said, but I don't think it got this kind of attention, and attention generates action. So let's keep going. Pearson said, now again, this sounds a little bit like PR, public relations type jargon, and I don't mind that either. There is a nature of public relations. You have to defend an organization from attacks against it as well. And whether they're valid or not, you still want to put your best foot forward. So I don't have any judgment of PR language. We took immediate steps to try to minimize the damage, including scrambling the order of multiple choice answers and shortening the release window for later exams. Students have a strong motivation to score well on the AMC, the California Institute of Technology, the MIT, and Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh explicitly ask for AMC scores on applications. Students volunteer the scores on applications elsewhere. It's a marker that is going to immediately tell an admissions officer, hey, this student has mathematical talent. Said Zaragoza Guerra, a former admissions officer at Caltech and now college admissions now a college admissions consultant. Sorry, it was cut off in the bottom of the last screenshot. Stuart Schmill, Dean of Admissions and Student Financial Services at MIT, said that as a destination for the nation's top mathematical minds, the school has found it helpful to include a space to submit scores from the competition. He added that MIT is aware of the AMC cheating incident and that it takes all such allegations extremely seriously. Again, just a PR statement almost. Success in the AMC can give applicants an edge for sought-after finance internships, as well as in the early years of their careers. If you can point, quote, if you can point to a math contest, then that would absolutely help that person land an internship, end quote, said Brian Mulhern, a finance recruiting manager at Beacon Hill, a recruiting agency. Competitions like the AMC also attract attention, sponsorship and attention from quantitative trading and hedge fund firms. Citadel, for example, has provided support to help fund student participation in math programs, including the AMC. Hudson River Trading, a high-frequency trading firm, sponsors quantitative competitions in groups like the New York City Math Team. A spokeswoman said the skills the students develop lend themselves to the kind of research and analysis we do on the markets. A lot of times you're thinking creatively in those spaces. No wonder that they would value such things. Headed into this year's contest season, the Mathematical Association of America said it is sending the exams out closer to the testing times. There's a change. and vetting all testing sites, which include schools as well as for-profit test prep centers. We'll get more to the MAA article in a moment that talks about the same thing. Nate Onderko, a rising senior at Brooklyn Tech, spent last summer studying for the competition, but worried after the leaks that it wouldn't be enough to achieve a standout score. I took it seriously, he said, noting that he will improve his chances of getting to top schools like Carnegie Mellon and Brown. A lot of kids have put a lot of time into trying to make it. So I think that was it. I hope that that covers all the pages and I didn't lose one or something like that. The article was written by Mila Serjati, and there's the email for that person, and Sarah Randazzo, and there's her email as well. So that's the WSJ article. Again, the headline was "The Cheating Scandal Rocking the World of Elite High School Math." Now, if you go to this MAA article, I'm going to scroll back up briefly, not read through the whole thing. Congratulations to the team, by the way, once more. That's amazing. It shows the members of the team, and I really like this. You can see it's quite diverse, actually. This is not just one, cultural group represented, but there's quite a bit of different things represented here, and I think that's awesome. It's cool to see that. Congrats to them. First young woman to join the IMO team since 2007, Jessica Wands inclusion. So there she is there. Kind of amazing to see that. We love to see that in all things. So let's go. Now we go down below. The Team USA had 192. China had 190. We beat them by 2 points. USA. Okay, sorry. I'll get some Olympic spirit going on here. Commenting down below, they think they have a statement, the support of our program. It wouldn't be possible without the dedication of thousands of committed competition managers, etc. Then down to Michael Pearson's statement. We are thankful for our network of dedicated teachers who help us reach tens of thousands of students each year. We remain committed to providing inclusive access to high quality mathematical problem solving experiences while preserving the integrity of the MAA AMC program. Again, a nice PR statement, but they did take some actions. It's been a trying year for the AMC. It now says in the early stages of the competition cycle, there were allegations of cheating and evidence of leaks in the entry-level competitions. With the integrity of the competition of the utmost importance, the MAA adapted to make security changes in real time. Honestly, it is kind of cool that they did change the order of the answers and things like that. Is it all that they could do? What else can they do? Just cancel the entire competition at that point, remake the whole test. You understand that the tests are made 2 to 3 years in advance. It's not something thrown together last minute. And so keeping that in mind, this is probably all that they could do at that time, realistically. And are we satisfied? Are we happy? No, of course not. But you do the best you can with what you have, given the constraints upon real life lives, okay? So then we go here, we say, when the MAA learned of the competition leak, this is the quote from Audrey Malagon, she's the Senior Director for Programs. When the MAA learned of the competition leak, our team acted quickly, leveraging the testing technology to investigate instances of cheating and irregular activity. Now, what does that investigation look like? What was the fallout? Other than the one location having their test disqualified, how many other people? I don't know. It's a nice statement. I don't know what it actually looks like in practice. Okay, so said Audrey Malagon, MAA Senior Director for Programs. Like I said, we regard this matter with the utmost seriousness. We commend every student who participates in our competitions. I would add, participates in our competitions honestly, with integrity, and with preparation, right? As well as the dedicated teachers and parents who support them. She didn't write that. I just thought it would be something nice that they could add in there as well. I'm sure that she was thinking it at the time. I don't know. I don't speak for her. I'm sure she made her own statement. I'm not trying to step on any feet here or anything like that. I would just add, I would say the same thing. I appreciate all such students who participate honestly. Okay, so some of the changes the MAA is implementing, here we go, include reviewing and revetting the thousands of competition sites, significantly reducing the availability window when the competition is available to students, and restructuring the program management to bring in seasoned leaders to support the operations staff. You can find this article on MAA's website. It's https://maa.org, and just look up their news. It should be in that section, okay? This Saturday, August 10th, the MAA will honor. It goes on to finish off their statement about the winning team. So that's that. I don't have a whole lot more to add to this. I just wanted to cover it. It's news, it's noteworthy. Thank you again to the Discord server member who brought it to my attention. What do you think? What's your opinion about the cheating and your approach to the test given all of these things? Are you demoralized? How does it affect you? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Other than that, I'm going to stop this video here. I wish you all best of luck in your competition prep season. I should have the home stretch video out soon, along with that big announcement I mentioned at the start. Hope you have a great day.